Now, let's talk about the work that's done by your local councillor. Do you know who they are? Do you actually know what they do? There's a big report out today. It's been done in Kirklees. It says lots of things, but it says the job of a local councillor is at risk of becoming undeliverable and unachievable. There's a couple of the suggestions in this report that if you vote in a local election, you should be able to do it down the local supermarket. And if they're going to have a council meeting, they should actually have it not in the town hall, but in a cafe where you can join in. And they'd like the voting age to be lowered to 16. Let's have a look at it all with our political reporter, Richard Edwards.
This is just a proposal to have new lease arrangements.
That's an extract of a council meeting held here in West Yorkshire. I'm sure the people involved would agree it wasn't particularly exciting, but it's a job that needs to be done. The traditional approach, though, doesn't make it that attractive to the public. And the report suggests getting councillors, coffee and citizens together to a cafe. Let's see what people in Huddersfield's Coffee Evolution think of it.
Hi, I'm Catherine and I live in Huddersfield.
How many times have you been to a council meeting, Catherine?
I've never been.
Have you ever wanted to go?
No, not particularly. I'm ashamed to say.
Would you know where to go, what to do about it if you wanted to?
I wouldn't have a clue, no.
If it was here in Coffee Evolution and there was something that you were passionate about, you wanted to know more about, would you feel more likely to be able to take part?
I would, yeah. I think it's quite a good idea to hold them around where people hang out and things so that they're more involved. I think it's a good idea.
So, Harry, let's imagine you're sitting here with your cup of coffee and there's a council meeting going on around you. What would you think about that? Would you be likely to get involved?
If they were talking about something that I felt like I knew enough about to be involved. I think the problem is a lot of the time I feel potentially out of my depth. Other people might also be out of their depth but get involved, and that can be problematic.
So how accessible do you see council meetings now? Would you know where to go to one?
I would not. I imagine I could find out fairly easily. I don't even know if I was aware I could go to one.
Hello, I'm Matthew from Huddersfield. Yeah, if they were to hold council meetings in cafes, I think it probably would be quite a good thing to get the community more involved, especially when there are often decisions about the community. I do think that sometimes there are people who have quite strong opinions that might make it less of a formal occasion than it needs to be, but yeah, on the whole I think it's a good idea.
And how much knowledge have you got, Matthew, of maybe your local council or the council ward that you live in? Would you be able to name your council?
No, probably know a bit more about Leeds than Huddersfield, to be honest. I used to live in Leeds and work in Leeds, but no, not a great deal about Huddersfield.
Those are the voices in Huddersfield. Now, this report that sparked the suggestion of changes, well, the independent chair of the commission who looking at this report, the Commission for Democracy, is Dr. Andy Mycock from the University of Huddersfield. I spoke to him an hour ago.
The interesting point here is that local democracy is often seen to be something which is about election times and about the idea that councillors only come and talk to you when they want your vote. It's actually a far wider question about your everyday experience, and so it's about participating in decisions that affect your life on a daily basis. And I think in that way, when we've talked to citizens, they've said, look, we are interested in politics, we want to engage, we want to understand how decisions are made, but we want to change the way in which these things are done.
Dr. Andy Mycock. So, should we be doing things differently to get you interested in local politics and what your councillor is doing? Let's just take a quick trip to the southwest of England to a local authority, a council, that's already doing things differently. They hold meetings in cafes and cricket clubs. Councillor Peter McFadden from Frome Town Council, welcome to breakfast. Good morning.
Thank you.
So do you take it all out on the road then?
Quite a lot of the time, yeah. We realised that that's the only way to get people to be really engaged. That ultimately you can't expect people to come to a boring council meeting, in an evening, if they've never heard of it. And so going out to them was the way to do it.
Did they turn up? I mean, obviously there are those who are already engaging and interested, but are people that have never turned up before turning up or not?
Absolutely, because what one of your people in the cafe just said, that if somebody comes and is talking about what's of interest to them, then they'll stay and get engaged. So the bit about going to the cricket club is we wanted to particularly know what people wanted doing around sports in Frome. So we held the meetings around that in the cricket club, the football club and the rugby club. Right. So those people were kind of there already, and so those meetings all had 70, 80 people at them who would never have been to a council meeting in the same way as the people you interviewed hadn't.
How do you measure the success then of your scheme, of your pilot? I mean, what do you do? Do you keep a roll call? How do you tick the box? What do you do?
There's an informal roll call. I mean, there's a formal one, but there's an informal one of how much people keep being engaged. And so, well, sticking with the sports one, if you like, that's led to an ongoing forum which meets regularly and still has a large number of people come to every meeting. Previously, in previous years when we tried to do that, we'd completely failed.
Right.
Doing it in the town council meeting, we'd said, come and talk to us about sports, and a handful of people had turned up.
I wonder, not that I know a great deal about Frome, but I have an idea. Kirklees, for example, where they've done this research, more than 400, nearly 500,000 people. Very different area. Very diverse, very splintered, even geographically. Whereas I have this image of your area being lovely. A little bit like something out of Midsummer Murders, gorgeous, lovely little villages and people around. I mean, is that fair?
To an extent, I don't think the good people of Kirklees would want to necessarily feel that their villages and towns aren't small. There are divisions within Kirklees, or they could be, couldn't there?
No, there are.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
you're
a very
right.
different area.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop you from going out and meeting in these sorts of ways. I mean, Kirklees is is a large area, but then there are divisions within that, and where there aren't divisions, you can make them under localism. You can create new parish councils if you want to. But you're right, there is a need to go down to actually talk to people and to be in smaller divisions, I think. We're 30,000, which isn't that small. I mean, it's a decent whack of people.
It's good to talk to you, thank you. Carry on, do what you're doing. Councillor Peter McFadden from Frome Town Council.